So anyway, I get really excited about this idea of self-care. And in my mind, I start visualizing it, because that's what I do when I get excited. I start kind of fantasizing about what I will actually look like up here tonight on this stage. And I start thinking about this self-care, and a calm comes over me. I am self-care. And I come here, and I'm full to the brim with self-care. My cuppeth runneth over, and self-careth. And I sprinkle my self-care all over you. And then at the end of the night, you have a little gift bag of my self-care, and you take away and you use it later. You're welcome. And so I say to Julie, yes, Julie, I will do a topic that I know absolutely nothing about come August, because that's a real long way away. Well, after we left our lunch, I got to thinking a little bit more about this self-care and what I actually had said I was going to do. And so I thought about it, and every day I was really diligent. And I started making a list. I love lists. And so I'm going to share just a few of them of what I perceive self-care to be. Here's my laundry list. Just a couple. Daily meditation. Exercise for 20 minutes daily. Talk to my best friend weekly. Talk to my family back home in Australia weekly. Go back to Australia for a visit. That means save more money. Only drink 1 coffee a day. Eat more whole foods, not too much sugar. Eat breakfast at reasonable time. Get up early. Attend more support meetings. Take time for self-reflection, just a little bit more. Get a massage every month. Get a mani-pedi every month. Go to church. Have a date night with my hubby. Set more boundaries, strive for balance within work life and work days. Take a break during my work day, go to the toilet, etc. Get better at activating the pause button before I say something to someone who annoys me, which is my husband's favorite. Let go of work once I leave. Blah, 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 blah. Oh God. August comes, and I'm starting to think that this self-care thing, it's overrated. Then, cut to August the 17th, Monday, 2 p.m. to be precise. I got to confess, guys, I have a mini meltdown. I realize that the very thing that I am meant to talk to you tonight about, I haven't done, at least in the way that I have perceived it. So during this mini meltdown, trying to calm myself with the panic stuck in my throat, I mean, it's lodged. I start to think about, is it really that expensive to get a one-way ticket last minute to Sydney by Friday? I decide that I'm going to call one of my dear friends, Barry. Barry is a straight shooter. She tells it to me like it is. Plus, she's a psychiatric nurse, so that helps in times of need. And I tell her my dilemma. And after she hears me kind of mutter and mumble, she says, listen, Rob, listen. First of all, you do self-care, just not in the way that you perceive it. See, Barry and I just had a mutual friend pass away suddenly from a canoe accident, and we were devastated. And it has us question about life. And so I took time out to go over to see Barry. And we shared our pain. and we cared for each other. So you see, Rob, she said, you do self-care. But let me just tell you one more thing. The problem with you, Robin, and this is in her words, things are either perfect or they're shit. One moment, please. I have an idea. Oh, in all honesty, I had an epiphany. I realized that I was using self-care just as another way to beat myself up. It was my measuring stick. It's what I do when I'm in fear and I want to impress and I'm nervous and I'm scared. And so I had to think about that. You see, I put a lot of pressure on myself. Now, apparently, that has to do with my personality traits and temperament. According to Dr. Bishop, from what I gather, I'm part harm avoidant, perfectionistic, and a tad of novelty seeking. But I can't see that. But during this time, this week of self-reflection, I also had to look at why I wasn't giving to myself the way I was suggesting to others. And so I dug a little deeper and I started to look at the disconnect that I had. You see, I talked to patients about showing up for themselves. The more we show up for ourselves, the less we need our eating disorder. And you guys, I really believe that. And then I talk to families, and they're struggling, and they're in so much pain. And I see hope in their eyes. And I see that they're depleted and they haven't done anything for themselves. So I do this exercise with them. I say, close your eyes and visualize. I'm big on visualization. Close your eyes and visualize. And I want you to visualize saying to your loved one, I'm just going to put you over here for a minute. And just for an hour, I'm going to do something that brings me joy, that reminds me that I matter too. And while I will never, ever apologize for being so passionate and so committed to what I do, I realized that I had to look at that. And I had to define self-care to actually care for myself. I needed the care in self-care. I was missing that. And I needed to define my self-care that was more congruent with who I really am and my values. So I came up with a new list. It's a little simpler, and I'm going to share that with you. Connection. I will fill my spirit by connecting with people, my values, and myself. Letting go. I'm going to let go of perfectionism. You see, I'm already letting go. People-pleasing and beating myself up. And joy. I will consciously seek joy in all my affairs. So, for example, if exercise is like poking yourself in the eye with a sharp stick, I'm going to dance with my kids instead. And when all that fails, guys, I'm going to remind myself, hey, Rob, don't take yourself so seriously. Recover self-care. Thank you so much.